In a fictional shockwave louder than any stage anthem, Usher is thrust into a pressure cooker moment where power, loyalty, and unresolved history slam together without warning. Charging straight into the spotlight is 50 Cent, cast here as the fearless disruptor who fires off bold, high-voltage claims about Usher and Diddy, fueling controversy with calculated intensity and zero hesitation. The ripple effect is immediate, forcing Usher to confront past alliances, lingering tensions, and the unforgiving gravity of global fame until the narrative swells into a full-scale reckoning that feels poised to explode beyond anyone's control.
I said, nah, I ain't gonna speak about it, bruh. You understand? I'm gonna wait till he speak about it. So people who had known that, I always knew that because I used to follow Puff to Kirk House when we had the building and the red zone, and we used to take the money from those clubs and we had to drop it off at Kirk House. So we wasn't dropping. He would, he was staying there. You spending the night at another house and you got a apartment with your girl somewhere else. Okay. So when I seen in the lawsuit that he said that Kirk said that Puff was SAing him, sexually assaulting him, sodomizing him, doing all kind of things to him, I first thought like, but hold up, they was lovers or they was, but that's his boss. So maybe the boss cannot have sex with people. The CEO can't have people that work for them. And that's why it becomes illegal.
Inside a tense New York courtroom setting, the air crackled as Usher's long-standing industry rival, Shaw Diddy Combs, appeared in a stark, restrained look that symbolized how dramatically the narrative around him had shifted, his once polished image now marked by age and intensity. Standing firm, he entered a not guilty plea as prosecutors outlined a forceful case, portraying him as a powerful figure facing serious allegations tied to influence, pressure, and control claims that, if true, would challenge the very foundations of the music world Usher helped elevate. The defense responded just as aggressively, pushing back against what they framed as exaggerated and biased accusations, arguing the story was driven by personal vendettas and outside forces aiming to dismantle a towering icon whose legacy has long run parallel to Usher's global ascent.
Sean Diddy Combs appeared in the closed Manhattan courtroom with gray hair and a gray beard, which reportedly left onlookers stunned. Diddy, wearing tan prison clothing, hugged all of his attorneys and ultimately entered a plea of not guilty. Trial attorney Misty Maris breaks down the impact of today's proceedings with Diddy's trial in May fast approaching.
The new indictment against Diddy is very impactful to the case. Not only does it add new charges, it also expands the timeline where the alleged criminal activity took place, and it also adds 2 new victims. From a defense perspective, this changes the game as far as strategy of how to approach all of the charges and all of the allegations at trial.
Combs previously pleaded not guilty to charges of racketeering, conspiracy, sex trafficking, and transportation to engage in prostitution.
But I make no excuses. My behavior on that video is inexcusable.
Ahead of today's hearing, Diddy's lawyers made stunning allegations about the damning CNN surveillance video that appears to show Combs physically assaulting his former girlfriend, singer Cassie Ventura, at a LA hotel in 2016. In a letter to the judge, Combs' team is alleging CNN altered the video by speeding it up to make it falsely appear that the actions in the video are taking place faster than they are. They also allege that CNN ultimately destroyed the footage. A spokesperson for CNN tells Access in part, CNN never altered the video and did not destroy the original copy of the footage.
Sean Diddy Combs is pushing back with a new court request. 1 month after the rapper was denied bail for the second time, his attorneys filed a motion November 8th requesting bail once again, arguing that changed circumstances and new evidence should allow him to be released from jail ahead of his May 5th trial, according to documents obtained by E! News. The motion for bail claims that new evidence makes it, quote, clear that the government's case is thin. The defense also alleges that new evidence refutes the prosecution's claim that the March 2016 video of Combs physically assaulting a woman in a hotel occurred during a coerced freak-off or elaborate sex performance, as cited in the initial indictment. Instead, the motion claims that the video is a minutes-long glimpse into a complex but decade-long consensual relationship between Mr. Combs and victim 1. Per the documents, his attorneys also argue that the new evidence refutes the prosecution's notion there was a, quote, potential second alleged victim. Combs, who was arrested in September on charges of racketeering, sex trafficking, and using transportation to engage in prostitution, has remained in custody at the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn, New York since his arrest. He has pleaded not guilty to the charges. E-News has reached out to the office of the U.S. Attorney for the Southern District of New York for comment and has not yet heard back. Combs' attorneys have declined to comment. During the September 17th hearing after Combs' arrest, U.S. Assistant Attorney Emily Johnson cited a 2016 video that was released this May in which she said the Bad Boy Records founder assaulted an unnamed victim.
Industry? A ripple of tension quickly spilled beyond the courtroom when rumors of a controversial recording surfaced, thrusting Usher into the heart of a fast-growing storm. Long seen as a close industry ally whose journey intersected with Diddy's rise and setbacks, Usher's unexpected link to the alleged material hinted that this moment went far deeper than routine association. Described only as footage containing claims capable of rattling reputations, the rumored recording sparked intense speculation, raising questions about intent, accountability, and whether it was meant to challenge more than one powerful figure. As the noise intensified, the situation threatened to redraw the fragile lines between alliances, rivalries, and behind-the-scenes power struggles that Usher has carefully navigated throughout his iconic career.
Yeah, I agree with you in some ways. What I would just add is it's without question because they did not know that he was recording them. I mean, when I read through that lawsuit, Rodney made it very clear that he had hidden cameras. And if you are a person like LeBron who says ain't no party like a Diddy party, you got Ashton Kutcher talking about what happens at Diddy parties stays at Diddy parties. And finally you learn via the press that actually Diddy has been collecting evidence on all of you and you don't know where those tapes are. That will buy your silence for quite some time because you're hoping that if you keep your head low, you're not going to be revealed as one of these people that was engaged in some of these acts, whether they were heterosexual or homosexual, it doesn't matter. Maybe you're just cheating on your wife and you don't want that to get out into the public. Maybe you were, as Cat Williams described it, in one of the rooms. He said you could just walk around the house. He said this on stage years ago, that you could walk around the house and you would see people engaged in various sex acts. And again, Cat Williams was someone who was dismissed as crazy and dismissed as a drug addict. And it turned out that, or it seems that if these allegations are proven to be true, and I believe they are, then he was telling the truth. And I think that is the reason that so many of them are silent, because they were doing things. They thought that they were his friend, that they were bad boys for life, and that he would keep things silent when in reality, he was just another Jeffrey Epstein typed character. And they're scared for their lives. Yeah, especially if you're someone like a LeBron James, and I'm not alleging that he is caught in something terrible, but if he was caught in anything and you're LeBron James and you've made your mark on talking about the ills of society and you have minted yourself a king and you're speaking out on the Black community and they find out you're the room over while someone's getting raped potentially, not going to look good.
Chris did get the book from Courtney. Courtney has a more thorough copy of the book. When Chris published the book that was on Amazon, it was edited. So some of the passages were removed. Some of the pictures were removed. And I think there was like a foreword or something that was added to the book. So it is a different version, but from the same, what in copyright law is called derivative work. So it derives from that work that Courtney has.
And just to be clear, Courtney's work, Courtney's book, is it currently being sold anywhere?
I'm not exactly sure. I believe Courtney has I was about to say, here's a woo-woo, welcome to downtown Miami. But I believe he is selling it on a website. I only came into that knowledge when I received the cease and desist letter from Quincy and Christian.
Got it. And in terms of the content of the book, what is this book about, the one from your client?
So I haven't taken the time to read the book either, but to my understanding, it's Kim Porter's memoir. So it's basically Kim Porter's stories. I haven't read, I shouldn't say that, I haven't read the entire book. I have read several excerpts from the book, several pages from the book. I haven't had time to sit down and read it in its entirety. But to my understanding, it purports to be from Kim Porter about experiences Kim Porter.
As the case surged ahead, tension inside the courtroom thickened, with Diddy's family, his son Christian, daughter Chance, and mother Janice locked in place beside supporters as they prepared for a high-stakes trial scheduled for May 2025. Sharp exchanges and relentless scrutiny kept snapping back to one volatile centerpiece, the mysterious recording. Rumors claimed it pointed to troubling allegations and carried an unexpected twist powerful enough to send shockwaves through the entire music industry. Then, in a move that caught everyone off guard, Usher stepped forward, meeting the moment head-on with a firm, calculated action that stunned the room, reset the narrative, and decisively altered the direction of the case.
Diddy Combs headed to court March 14th for an arraignment, and his appearance is making headlines. Per NBC News, the music mogul entered the legal proceeding with gray hair and a gray beard, a notable difference from how he looked prior to his September 2024 arrest. Also on hand were members of Combs' family, including his mother Janice and two of his kids. As for why Combs was in court, during the arraignment, prosecutors unsealed a superseding indictment against the rap mogul, accusing him of forcing employees to work long hours and threatening them with retaliation. Combs pleaded not guilty to the allegations. The March 6th indictment obtained by NBC News did not add any new charges for Combs, who previously pleaded not guilty to federal charges related to racketeering, prostitution, and sex trafficking after his September arrest, but did detail what prosecutors described as, quote, forced labor at the hands of the rapper in connection with racketeering conspiracy. E! News has reached out to Combs' legal team and has not yet heard back. Prosecutors argued in the filing that Combs maintained control over employees whom he forced to work long hours with little sleep through use of, among other things, physical force, psychological harm, financial harm, and reputational harm and/or threats of the same. The document, which replaces the previously filed indictment to include more information regarding the case, said that Combs' alleged tactics caused these employees to believe they would be harmed, including losing their jobs if they did not comply.
According to a report by CNN, jurors on Thursday were expected to hear from a witness who claimed he was allegedly in possession of videos that contained footage of celebs being potentially victimized by the Bad Boy Records founder. The witness, who reportedly hasn't filed any suits against Combs and is not claiming to be a victim of him, says he has information and evidence about sexual abuse and other misconduct by Combs, some of which allegedly involved celebrities. But according to the witness's attorney, Ariel Mitchell, who also represented two of Combs' accusers in their lawsuit against the mogul, she said her client was subpoenaed. According to another report, the witness told TMZ he was initially contacted by federal agents with the Department of Homeland Security, and he's previously done interviews claiming he's seen salacious videos of Diddy and his celebrity friends. Sources told the outlet the subpoena from federal prosecutors asked the witness to turn over all records, including thumb drives, hard drives, electronic storage devices, or devices containing videos and/or other files depicting Diddy. But that witness would drop another bombshell, as he claims he was given 11 flash drives containing at least 8 sex tapes involving 8 celebrities, 6 men and 2 women. Courtney Burgess told News Nation's Banfield on Thursday among the 8 celebrities who were Combs' alleged victims, about 2 to 3 appeared to be minors. Burgess told Ashley Banfield in an interview with his attorney Ariel Mitchell, every single celebrity appeared to be under the influence in the tapes and were seemingly victims, not perpetrators.
Usher, who previously reflected on the intense atmosphere and overwhelming experiences he encountered as a young teenager living in Diddy's home in 1994, now stands at the heart of a rapidly intensifying situation fueled by newly 3PS. Surfaced evidence. In a resurfaced interview, his voice carried far more gravity than the polished confidence of his early rise, as he acknowledged that what unfolded behind closed doors sharply contrasted with the image the public embraced. Admitting he witnessed moments he was not emotionally equipped to understand at the time, Usher's words now resonate with renewed significance as those memories intersect with a present-day legal battle demanding transparency. What once felt like distant reflection has evolved into pivotal relevance, amplifying the urgency as unresolved truths push steadily into view.
Those who, the Silvers and place and people like that, are the DeBarge family. Those people who started super young can even relate to what Michael was talking about. I understand when he says, I hate touring. 9 times out of 10, because his entire life has been touring and has been being that and being ready, right?
Yeah.
For me, it's a bit different. But I felt that it was part of what I signed up for when I decided. How would you say it's different?
Because it was your choice, you feel? Or?
Well, it's different in terms of whether I love or hate it. I have never hated touring. I love touring. Like, that is the one thing that's the most important part to me. But the only reason why I hate it now is because I don't get time with my kids. So the sacrifice that I have to make to not be there for them, whether they know it, I would rather, be able to have real permissive parenting where I can wake up every morning and have breakfast with my kids, take them to school, check on them, after school, and be able to try and have some sense of normalcy. Because great parenting hopefully allows your kids to grow up and understand what it is to work for something. If you're not there to instill it, then it's a bit complicated. So I hate that I don't get a chance to have that part. I love being able to perform. That's the most important thing that I said I would do when I didn't have kids. Moment I had kids, it's like, I don't really like being out there all the time. So I try to make the most of it when I do it. Yeah, that right there is the pressure that I feel every day. To try to live up to that guy right there.
Oh my goodness.
It's a commitment that I made a long time ago. If you want to be an artist, being an artist is like being a magician. Being an artist is like being a heart surgeon. You make people feel things. So you have to have that same commitment to whatever it is that you say you're going to do, right? I want to be great at this, so I have to stay in the gym a little bit longer. I got to rehearse this record a little bit longer. I got to sing all night. I got to, say no to some things that might, be fun and hang out with your friends.
That
no, you got to really.
A lot of discipline.
Yeah, so discipline, but more than anything, a healthy, lifestyle. I just choose to have healthy habits. I fast every Wednesday. I do my best to work out at least 3, 4, maybe 5 times a week.
Wow.
And, just be happy with my friends and family.
The situation detonated further when former bandleader Freddie P. Watson entered the narrative with statements that ignited a fresh wave of uncertainty. Speaking as someone who once operated close to the inner circle, he suggested that a young, rising artist within Diddy's orbit may have been caught in intense, uncomfortable dynamics tied to the disputed recordings, pointing to visible pressure and unease that hinted at deeper, unresolved struggles behind the spotlight. His most controversial assertion followed that Usher may have chosen distance over involvement during those moments. While unverified and firmly in the realm of allegation, the claim casts a harsh light on years of silence and unspoken tension beneath the industry's polished surface. Now positioned at a defining crossroads, Usher faces a moment where long-suppressed questions threaten to rise, placing legacy, accountability, and truth under unprecedented scrutiny.
He was standing at a table. They say the shirt that he wore to the VMA say something about God is great. But in the video, they got pictures of him standing in the background while a woman is being sexually pleased, but she under the influence. And they say it's white substance on her nose. You can clearly see that. And they saying in another video, they have him and the A-list, a young male, having sex. And it was alleged allegations that it was being a tape was being shopped around with him and a young male. I'm not accusing nobody, but if you look at the way Justin Bieber look at Puffy, he hates that. He hates that nigga. That man's face ain't just dropped soon as he wanted to go get a wife. That man's whole fucking face, that's some medical. That man young and healthy, man. But he terrified. You remember when I said a lot of people happy you locked up right now, Puff? He's one of them. That's why I'm speaking. He's one of them. One of the people that you terrified who couldn't get from under your claws. That's why Puffy trying to help her get back out here. He know. These bitches want to see me fall. They want to see this. They've been waiting on this. He know how many people been waiting on this. His kids know. They feeling it. Nobody calling. Nobody trying to, you know what I'm saying? Hey, well, all the people that was trying to be my friends. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody calling, offering no help. Ain't nobody calling. I see all these niggas
But what I can say, but I don't know, because I don't know what the freak all look like, right? Right? Is it in a private house? Is it in a party or club? Because I've been to clubs where I walked in and people was doing coke, and it was on behalf of Bad Boy. Like but Jadakiss, everybody was in that bitch that night. But the way the club is, I can't lie. I'd rather say I always tell people the reason I remember this night so well because this is how I prefer to party. Like I went in there, was swinging from the all over the place. It's people getting on coke. It's people like everybody in their own fucking world, right? But they in their own world within the club. Music playing, rave music. I'm talking about crazy white people, punk rock, gothic. But nobody's paying attention. Just gambling. Just like in their own. It was a moment that I can remember. Like, yo, I'm seeing motherfuckers sniff coke. Ain't saying we get to smoke the weed over here. Like. Security not fucking with us. This is great. Like everybody naked bitches walk around. I'm seeing bitches fucking up here. I'm like, what the fuck is this? But it's so mind your business. And it was like, yo, I'd rather party like this. Like, you know what I'm saying? So that's the one time I could probably say I walked into a crazy party. But we came through the back door and it was a big ass club. Like it was like, you know what I'm saying? Like some real freaky gothic shit. It was like some like I like though because I like privacy. I like to party, but I want to be private. I don't want to be looked at. I don't want to have to watch you niggas all night.
The story grows heavier as past legal disputes and long-rumored allegations continue to trail Diddy, stacking against the present claims and forming a pressure front he can no longer evade. His attorney, Mark Agnifilo, insists on his full innocence and projects confidence that the court will ultimately affirm it. But with a major trial looming and fresh information surfacing publicly, the moment has transformed into a volatile clash of loyalty, power, and internal strain. What was once carefully managed behind closed doors now pulls Usher squarely into the spotlight, where alliances forged during the industry's rise begin to show visible cracks. Beneath the polished surface of fame and influence, tensions are tightening, balance is slipping, and Usher stands at the edge of a defining Chapter 1, where long-guarded truths threaten to break free and reshape the legacy of an entire era.
I keep telling that story. I always tell my brothers and stuff, man. It's just like, man, we was in D.C., and two freaky white bitches, man. They came up, they partying, and I'm like, okay. So this at the time, you still thinking Puff a little fruity. So you watching this, you watching the movie, you want to see a nigga, like, break your stereotype. Like, I heard you was gay, man. Show me you're not. Please show me you're not, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I'm watching everything. And, yeah, he's finger fucking, like, putting a cherry in her mouth and two white bitches up hitting my dog. Like, you see this shit? Yo, we were the boss of all bosses. Real boss. Oh, my bad, brother. But I like, yeah, real boss. You know what I'm saying? That was Puff Daddy, man. It was better sweet days with Puff, man. And like I said, man, Puff ain't had no problem until he made that threat. He made that threat. He just didn't know. I guess he used to slapping niggas around and doing what he wanted to do. That shit just rubbed me the wrong way. Like, I don't hate the nigga. I hate him for what he did to us financially. Like, anything, my things with Puffy ain't got nothing to do with sexual. People don't understand that. I tell Sarah the same thing. Sarah, your beef with Puffy, keep it real. Like, it's not. You probably want money from that man because he owes us and it's too late to go get what they owe us.
There is a war that has erupted between Kim Kardashian and Kanye West. It involves swastikas, it involves their kids, and ultimately Diddy. It could, and Diddy.
Yes, Diddy.
And it could also involve a judge.
Yes, because Kim is really upset about this new song that Kanye dropped over the weekend. It's called Lonely Roads Still Go to Sunshine. It features Northwest rapping. It also features Diddy's son, King Combs. And you also hear Diddy himself on that, which is the main reason Kim wanted to stop this song from coming out. We've got a bunch of details about what went down, the battle behind the scenes, but first, here is a little bit of the song.
I miss you so much, you know, saying that you reached out to the Monday Wayne Bob, and Yeah, absolutely. I love you so much, man.
Like when you see me shining, then you see the light, everything they know, it ain't even right, even right. Okay, good night.
Okay, so here's the backdrop to this. So Kim, I just think we should put this out there. She has always tried to get Kanye and their kids to have a relationship. He has not really been around the kids that much. He chooses not to do that. But you know, when he does, she's always been accommodating, except for this situation.
As the trial approaches, pressure intensifies by the hour, with jury selection set for May 5 and opening statements ready to ignite on May 12. Each emerging detail adds gravity to a long-running narrative marked by allegations of influence, strategic maneuvering, and concealed alliances escalating an already charged situation into something far more volatile. Yet one moment stands above the rest and commands the industry's full attention: Usher's deliberate appearance in the courtroom. His presence did more than spark speculation. It marked the opening of a direct reckoning, where loyalty, rivalry, and long-suppressed truths are poised to collide beneath an unrelenting public spotlight.
Katrina, today's hearing is also expected to discuss jury selection, so I can imagine there's a lot of challenges that the prosecution and the defense are facing in seating a jury in such a high-profile case. I mean, everybody knows who this guy is.
Anytime you have a high-profile defendant like Sean Combs, the real concern here is jury bias, and that's a concern from both sides. In papers that were filed, the defense is already saying that they think there's been what they call an extraordinary amount of pretrial publicity that would prejudice people in favor of the government's case. So what we're expecting to hear a lot of talk about today is the jury selection process in this case. The defense wants to have two different groups of 300 people brought into the court, fill out extensive questionnaires, and then whittle people down based on that and bring the final selected people in for individual oral questioning. The government thinks that that process is too cumbersome. They want this to be an oral process in court, or if they have a questionnaire, something just more logistical that will help narrow the pool. But we're already seeing in these filings how difficult the selection in a case like this is for a high-profile defendant like Sean Combs.
Usher's bold move into the heart of this intensifying storm goes beyond fame or influence. It triggers a hard reckoning with the price of confronting what was never meant to be revealed. In an industry where quiet decisions can redirect legacies and suppressed truths can detonate without warning, the unfolding controversy surrounding Diddy, Usher, and the fiercely contested recording has transformed into a defining confrontation. Framed by allegations and mounting pressure, this moment is poised to captivate the public, strain the inner circle of music's elite, and redefine how accountability is measured in a culture long shaped by power, loyalty, and silence.